have a fabulous class. So you're going to just come and sit in a comfortable position. So I'm going to be sitting on a little bit of a cushion, and I'm going to have my feet on my mat. You can sit lengthways on your mat as well. It's absolutely perfect. And then just pull the flesh of your bum out the back so that you feel that you're really getting up nice and high on those two sit bones. It doesn't matter which leg is in front, or if you prefer to sit like this, then that's also fine as well if you've got really tight hips. So make sure that you can hold on to your knees wherever you are. Use your arms to help yourself lengthen up through the spine. Do a little bit of a wiggle of your spine from side to side. And then center yourself and maybe do just a little bit of a twist. Did you feel something click?
No, the back muscles.
Oh, you can feel it. And then just come back to the center. And you can either have your palms facing down, which is a grounding position for the hands, or you can turn the palms of your hands to face upwards, which is a little bit more of a receiving position with the hands. So just see where you want to be today. And then either just soften your eyes and turn your gaze downwards slightly, or if you're comfortable to close your eyes, just let your eyes close. And just let yourself settle into the shape of your body. Settle into your breath. Taking a moment to become present on your mat on this beautiful Sunday morning. And as you become aware of each inhale and each exhale, see if you can let your breath gently slow down without forcing it. And start to match each inhale to each exhale. Even breath in and an even breath out. And taking a little scan over your body, start to notice any areas that you're holding unnecessary tension. Perhaps around your forehead, perhaps around your jaw or your neck or shoulders. Maybe around your back or your hips. And as you connect a little bit more into your breath, allow it to soften and release your joints. Find ease. Start to notice your energy this morning. How does your energy feel? And does your energy match the feeling of your physical body this morning? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Just observe. And taking a moment before we start moving to acknowledge a silver lining in your life this morning and today. Connecting into our theme of gratitude. And knowing as we sit in interesting and difficult times, that there is a silver lining to be found. Just take a moment to connect. Take a moment to feel that gratitude. And let that gratitude move through your body. We're going to take one deep breath in through the nose. Hold your breath at the top for a moment. Open your mouth, exhale and sigh. Let your eyes blink open gently. And we're going to take both hands, reaching them all the way up. So you're going to get a little bit of a stretch through the side of your body. Put your right fingertips or your hand to the ground. Lean over towards the left and just stay there for a moment so you can feel that opening on the left side body. Turn your head and look down so that you're releasing into your neck. And then just start a gentle bouncing action so that you're bending and straightening that right elbow slightly, just to deepen the stretch to the side. Taking just a few more. And feeling your bum cheeks still connected to the ground, so you're not rolling your hips to the side, just your spine. And let's just take one more gentle release, come all the way up, and once again, reach both arms up. Give a little extra stretch through the fingertips, and then left hand, you can either do fingertips or you can do flat hand, lean to the side, turn your head so that you're relaxing your neck, and then we start with a gentle release. And remember, if your legs aren't comfortable sitting like this, just adjust your position so it feels good for you. Keep breathing. And just notice with that rhythmic action that your body starts to move a little bit deeper naturally without actually forcing it. And just take a few more. And coming all the way up, reaching both arms all the way up. And then exhale, open the arms nice and wide. Now take your hands behind your back and you're actually going to interlock the fingers and then move your hands, your fists, over to your left side. And then you're going to turn your head towards the left and you're going to tilt your chin gently down towards your chest and then play with the position of your head until you feel a release on the right side of your neck. Staying here for just a few more breaths in and out. And then letting your head release up, bring your head back to the center, and then move your fists over to the right side of your back. Turn your head towards the right, tilt your chin down, and again, play with the position of your neck until you feel a release. And you might notice that your head position is quite different on this side. So just let it settle where it needs to. Keep breathing. And then release your head up and bringing your head back to the center. Just let your hands come down to the floor behind you. Taking your hands out around to the side. Breathe in, reach all the way up. And then exhale, just clear some space for yourself as you open your arms all the way right to the side. Now, you're going to make an A-OK sign with your hands. And you're going to bring your hands out to the side. And we're just going to move our wrists a little bit up and down. So you can probably feel, for some people, this is a little bit of a neural stretch. So we've got these nerves that run down the arms that sometimes get a little bit tight. And then bring your hands center and now go back and forwards. So now again, you might notice that there's a slightly different neural sensation here. That's it. And we're going to do just one more time. And hold. Now bring your hands just in front as if you were looking through the glasses. So it almost looks like owl eyes. Bring your hands a little bit away from your face. And then you're going to take your fingers and place them under your chin. And then you're going to flip your hands up and look through your fingers. Okay, don't we wish we had a camera at this point? Oh, look, we are recording. So this is now getting a neural glide through the arm. And you know how many people struggle with this, yeah? And release, bringing your arms out. And one more time, we breathe and reach up. And then exhale and open the arms nice and wide. Roll the shoulders back and around a few times. And now you're going to take both of your feet and swing them to your left side. So I'm doing a mirror image. So I just want you to sit in a comfortable position, and you can hold onto your ankle and foot. And we're just going to do a little bit of a seaweed action from side to side. So now, because we've moved where our hips and our legs are, you might notice that you can get a bigger range of movement here. Just connect your movements into your breath, that lovely lateral flexion of the spine. And now, we're going to place the right hand to the floor, do a nice lovely stretch over. Now turn your shoulders and put both hands onto the ground. Take a moment to let your shoulders square themselves. And then we start arching the spine up slightly, lifting gaze, lifting heart. And then we push away from the hand and we round the spine back. And again, lift up. And can you feel as you do this movement with your spine that your hips and your head just naturally have to roll with you? So there's no right or wrong position because we are all built differently. Breathe with your movement. It doesn't matter to me when you inhale and when you exhale, provided that you are breathing, getting oxygen and getting energy to your body. One more. Come back just to the center. Hold it. Move your right hand to the middle of your mat. Pick up your left hand. Take a little bit of a peek underneath. And then come all the way up. Now, spin your feet into the middle. And just balance here for a moment. So your hands can either go behind your thighs or on the front of your shins. Tuck your chin into a ball shape, and then you can challenge yourself by closing your eyes. And that's just going to bring your awareness to your core connection to help you balance here. And as I've mentioned in the last few classes, your breathing gently makes your body rock. So every time you inhale, do you notice how your body weight gets pulled back a little bit? And every time you exhale, do you notice how your body weight transfers forward? And then open your eyes, and now spin both your feet around to the right side. Sit again however feels most comfortable for you. And we start moving side to side. Make any adjustments that you need. Notice how this side maybe feels different. And if it does feel different, what about it feels different for you? Oh. And let's just take one more time, placing your left hand to the floor as the right hand reaches over. Do a twist, placing both hands to the ground. Just separate your hands a little bit and then square your shoulders above your wrists. Lift your eye line, lift your heart, and then round your spine and push back. And again, use your breathing. And I'm giving you guidelines of the movement, but it doesn't mean you have to move at the same rhythm as me. It doesn't mean you've got the same range. And it might mean that you change the breathing slightly so that it works for you as well. One more time. Come back just to the center. Now move your left hand to the middle of your mat. Pick up your right hand, take a little peek underneath, and then come all the way up. And then spin around, and again, balance. Placing your hands just to the front of your shins or behind. Your feet are hovering, and then once again, you can close your eyes to give yourself just a little bit of a challenge. Notice how your breathing rocks you. This is the start of an exercise called rolling like a ball. Taking one more time, and then on your next breath, just opening your eyes, and then placing your feet down. So if you haven't faced yourself lengthways along the mat, just spin yourself around. You're gonna have your big toes near the front, arms out, and in one smooth movement, we're gonna roll all the way back. Exhale, curling back, placing yourself with control. Help yourself if you need to, and let your hands settle down beside you. Just bring your feet a little bit closer in towards your bum cheeks. Ready for a pelvic curl. Breathing out as you tilt your hips, rolling up into your bridge position. Pause at the top for a moment, and then start to ripple down through the spine. Find a little bit of softness through the neck and shoulders as you do this movement. Make any adjustments you need, and we go. Tilting hips, holding it there. This time, as you roll your spine down, let your arms come up towards the sky at the same time. So you're coordinating upper body, lower body. As you roll your hips up, your arms come down at the same time. So as your hips hit the top position, your hands hit the floor. Roll down through the spine and allow your hands to float up. Taking two more, tilting hips, pressing hands down, roll down through the spine, coordinate the movement, and allow your fingertips to reach up. Last one, tilting hips, getting a lovely squeeze into the bum cheeks. Make sure that your back isn't overworking. Roll down through the spine, hands lift up towards the sky, and you turn the palms to face each other. Let's scissor the arms. Just a gentle movement to warm up the shoulder joint. So one arm goes back as the other one comes forward. See if you can keep the elbows straight. And you are trying to keep your arms off the ground. So in other words, you're not resting in any position. Keep a little bit of tension around the joint itself. One more time. Bring both hands up towards the sky. Now turn the palms of your hands forward. Push your hands as if you're pushing your arms through water, just to hover them off the ground. You're not going to rest. And then inhale to lift them up. Do that one more time. Exhale, press through. Create resistance for yourself. And inhale to float. Nod your chin. Up you come, chest lift. Hands come forward. And inhale. Allow the arms and the head to come back at the same time. Nod your chin. Exhale, the arms come forward as the head and shoulders come up. And inhale, back we go. And one more time. Now stay here. If you need to support your head, you do. Otherwise, can you lift your arms? Breathe in. And breathe out. Flatten the abdominals. Breathe in. Breathe out. Flatten the abs. Keep your chin in. Feel the front neck muscles working to support you. Slide the ribs down. One more time. Exhale. Put your hands on the floor and lower your head and shoulders all the way down. Good. Just roll your head to one side, releasing your neck. Roll your head to the other side, releasing your neck. And bringing your head back to the center. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. You might need to wiggle your spine out. And if you're very flexible, you can stretch the left leg out. Otherwise, keep it bent. Okay? Put your hands behind that knee, flexing the foot. Breathe out as you stretch the heel up. If you can straighten the leg, fabulous, but don't worry if it's a bit bent. And then release. And we're going to do 3 more. And release. 2 more. Head and shoulders stay heavy. And release. 1 more. And release. Relax your foot. Relax the bottom foot too. And move your hands to the front of the knee. Bring your leg a little bit out to the right side. So you're going to pull your leg around the side of the right ribs. Almost like you're tucking your knee into your armpit. And then once you've got your leg there, you're going to feel a bit of a compression in that right hip joint. See if you can get your left shoulder back onto the floor, because almost guaranteed you're going to want to roll to the side. And then aim your gaze upwards, tucking your chin in slightly. Relax your feet. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly release, stretching that right leg out. And then stay there for a moment. Let your arms rest down beside you. And either close your eyes or let your eyes be heavy. And notice after we did that compression on the right hip, how there's almost this rush of circulation, of energy up and down the right side. Just breathe with it for a moment. And then open your eyes. And now you're going to bring your left knee in towards your chest. You're going to hold the knee there for a second and decide with the right leg if you're going to keep it out on the floor or if you're going to bend it. Move your hands behind the thigh. Flex the foot. And we go. Stretch up. And release. Imagine that you're going to stand on the ceiling and release. Take 2 more. 1 more time. And release. Relax your feet. Bring your hands now onto the top of your knee. Move your leg a little to the left. Bring it around the side of your ribs and up towards that armpit. And then once you've got your hip in a compression that feels good for you, see if you can get the right shoulder back onto the floor. Chin in very slightly and let both of your feet relax here as much as possible. Take 1 deep breath in and out. And now release gently. Stretch both legs all the way out. Let your hands relax beside you. And just once again, close your eyes and feel the energy moving up and down the left side. Nice easy breath in and exhale out. Open your eyes if they were closed. You're going to bend your knees, put your feet flat to the ground, and then walk your feet quite wide on your mat. Arms come out into a Boeing 747 position. Roll both your knees towards the right. Just let your hips and spine twist. And then roll your knees up through the center and roll them over towards the left. And you're just going to keep going from side to side. And all you're doing is exploring how your spine feels this morning with rotation. So you want it to feel that it's releasing, that it's warming up. But at any point, if you feel pain or twinging, then don't force it. Bring both your knees towards the right this time. Hold it there and turn your head to look over the left shoulder. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths in and out. If you want an extra stretch, you hook your right foot on top of your left knee to pull yourself deeper. But if it's hurting your back, put your foot back on the floor. Stay for just a few more seconds. And then if your foot is hooked on top of your knee, take it off and roll yourself just back to the center for a second. Feel your feet on the ground, lengthen your spine, and now both knees go over towards the left. Look over your right shoulder. And again, if you want to increase it, you hook your foot on top of the knee, and then the weight of your leg is going to just drag you a little deeper into the stretch. And just observe yourself. How does this side feel in comparison to the other side? Without having to change anything, just notice. And then slip your foot off your knee, bring both legs up towards the ceiling, and now keeping your feet nice and wide on the edges of your mat, lengthen your spine, keep your arms wide, and we're going to go into a pelvic curl again. Breathe out, tilting your hips back, rolling up into a bridge position, and with your legs wide apart, you might notice that you can come up higher. So allow yourself to come up higher, provided that your back feels okay. And then work your way down through the spine. Become aware that all 10 toes are connected to the ground, and release. And we're going to go up again, rolling up through the spine. And by the way, guys, if anybody has a really tight IT band, or if you've got any knee issues, make adjustments from here if this doesn't feel okay on your knees. Roll through the spine. And release. And we're going to take just one more time, tilting the hips, rolling up. Now I want you to hold it there. So you're going to keep your hips lifted. Hover your arms. So now you're having to balance. And then you're going to bring both your hands up. And you're going to touch the fingertips to their partners on the other hand. And then open your arms again. But don't let your arms rest. Hover them. And again, lift them up. Abdominals connecting, bum cheeks working. And open up. Last two. And open. Last one. Lift up. Keep your fingertips there and roll down through your spine. Really taking the opportunity to work through your back and then release your pelvis at the bottom. Interlock your fingers, place your hands underneath your head, and again, wiggle out your spine if you need. Get your elbows a little bit off the floor. Bring one knee up to tabletop. Secure your back. Bring the other knee up to join. Gluing the legs together, secure your back. Breathe out as you come up into a chest lift. Slide your ribs forward and inhale, down you go. Breathing out. So always with precision as we move in Pilates. Really feel the muscles that are working to support you. Feel the muscles that are moving you, and feel the joints that you're moving around. Let's take one more time. Up you come this time and hold it. Squeeze your legs together. Do a little twist towards the right. And now come back halfway, stop. That is your twist position, and come back to the middle. Rotate to the left, stop, come back halfway, hold it. That is your twist position. Come center. Roll to the right, remember it's only halfway. Come back to the center. Twist to the left, only halfway. Come back to the center. Lower head and shoulders down. Stay here for a moment. And if you want to, if it feels good for your shoulders, You can press the arms back to the floor, provided that you still have your abs controlled. Lightly tap the right toes to the ground and pick the leg back up again. Now the left toe, so you're keeping the knee bent, tap the toes and bring it up. And again, right toes. Are you able to do that without compromising the lumbar spine and the pelvis? Let's do 2 more just to make sure that you feel good with this. And 1 more time. Bring your legs up and don't move. Last little bit of abs. Lift your elbows a fraction off the ground. Breathe out as you come up into a chest lift and hold. Tap your right toes to the floor and twist to the left halfway. Bring your leg up and come back to the center. Your left toes go to the floor and you twist to the right. Good. Come back to the center. And flatten the abdominals. Stay lifted. And rotate. And lift. 2 more. Move at your own pace. Nice control, everyone. Last time. Come to center. Hands on your knees. Hug them in. And relaxing all the way down. Just rock your hips a little bit from side to side. So we don't do a gazillion repetitions. We do a few quality, precise repetitions. So hold it just in the center. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. And if you can, you hold on to the opposite leg with your hand. So you're going to feel a little bit like a pretzel. If this is too much of a stretch, then rather put both your hands on the right knee and on the right ankle to give yourself some support. At the end of the day, you want to feel a stretch into that deep right gluteal muscle, the piriformis. So just stay here for a moment, let your head and shoulders relax. Keep breathing. And then release, unwind, hug both knees to chest. And now do the same thing on the left side. So you cross your left thigh over. Find the grip with your hands that works for you. And again, just settle back into the stretch as much as possible. Finding it on the left side this time, because the left thigh is closer to the body. And on your next breath, uncross and hug both knees in towards the chest. So we're doing our half roll up, half rolling like a ball exercise that some of you have done with me before. Hook your hands behind your thighs. You're going to move your legs away from your chest until the elbows are straight. So you're going to feel a bit of pressure into your hands with your legs. Now lift your head up and round your spine forward. And as you round the spine forward, can you feel your thighs moving away from you? Start pouring your body weight in towards your feet so that you start rolling forward and your feet are going to hit the floor and then you pull your head towards your knees. Roll back again. And this time, you're going to roll back enough until your elbows are straight, and now you're hanging on your hands. Start lightening the load on your feet, and then pour your body weight back into your head, and then let your head rest and draw your knees towards your chest. Okay, now that you know what it is, we're just going to move at our own rhythm. So you might be going slower or faster than me, it doesn't matter. And notice how your breath out helps you come forward. And then leaning back and allowing your body weight to pour back. And we're just going to do one more time. And reach, rolling up, yeah, and rolling over, and then just come up into a sitting position and lifting nice and tall. So you might want to move back on your mat a little bit. We're going to be staying in a seated position. And I just want you to lean back as if you're sitting on the beach with your fingers pointing away from you. And you want to find a placement with your feet where you can hover your hips up without cramping in the hamstrings. And by the way, especially for men or anybody with tight shoulders, you can take your hands wide or narrow depending on what works for you. So let's hover our hips up. And we're just going to shift our body weight forwards and backwards. So I just want you to notice how as you bring your hips forward to your feet, that you might get a bit of a stretch down the front shoulder, the bicep maybe. And as you bring your body weight backwards, maybe you get a little bit of a stretch around the wrist. And then say to yourself, and let your hips come down. Give your hands a little shake. And now what you're going to do is point your fingers sideways, not backwards. Okay? Push out of the arms. And then you're going to lift the hips up. And now we're just going to shift a little bit from side to side. So you don't want to obviously injure the elbows or the wrists, but you just want to start to weight bear a little bit from side to side. And then come back to the center and release your hips down. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake. Now, as much as you can manage, turn the palms so that your fingers are pointing towards your hips. If it's too much on your wrists, then please put them to the side. No big deal. We're going to do a little intense work here. Push into the hands and feet and just check if you can weight bear. If it feels okay, press your hips up so that we're starting to create a tabletop position. Let your head go wherever it wants to. Don't throw it back. Don't tuck it in. And then bring your hips down with control. Push out of the hands and let your hips settle. Decide if you're okay. If you need to move your hands, you're welcome. Here we go again. Breathe out as we press into the hands, into the feet. Lift from the base of the pelvis as you come into a tabletop. Wow, that is an intense stretch across the front of the shoulders. And then release the hips slowly down. Are you okay for the last one, everyone? Pushing out of the arms. And we go. Lifting the hips. Beautiful. Take a little breath in. And exhale. And releasing down. And then just release and round all the way over. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake. So guys, that is preparation for something called the tendon stretch, which I shall surprise you with at some point. Take a breath in. And then roll up into a sitting position. Lie on your left side. Make a little pillow with the underneath arm and straighten your legs out so that you're in this long straight line. So you can either look or in your mind's eye, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, ear. You've got a long straight line. Chin up, shoulders down, bottom obliques are connected. Put your fingertips lightly to the floor. Squeeze your legs together. And on your breath out, lift both your legs up. So you are shortening the top waist and then lower down with control. And again, keep going at your own pace. So these are called side-lying obliques. So it's always fascinating how one side of our body tends to be dominant. So you're probably going to notice a difference when we do both sides, how it feels. And notice again on yourself, if your lower back is taking over, there's this little muscle in the back called the quadratus lumborum. And sometimes it likes to overwork. So if you feel that your lower back is taking over, very simple correction, you roll that top hip bone back a centimeter. And then when you lift, hopefully you can start to feel that connection into the top waist. 2 more. 1 more. Now lift your legs up and stay there. Now that top leg isn't allowed to move. Take the bottom leg down and squeeze it up. Bottom leg down, squeeze it up. Nicely done. Now, this is targeting our inner thigh muscles. So it's not about touching the feet or the ankles. If they touch, that's great. But I want your mental focus to be the top of the thigh bones here, squeezing into each other. Let's take 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Lift up, hold it. Now listen, the bottom leg isn't allowed to move. The top leg goes up just a little bit, and it comes back down again. Keep the top leg, bottom leg suspended. Top leg goes up and down. Good. So now we've got everything working together. Top oblique is connected. Bottom inner thigh is connected. And now we're working this little side bum muscle here called the gluteus medius. Let's take just a few more. Nice and controlled. Chin up, lengthen, create space. Now bring your legs together and hold it. Test your balance. Can you bring your arm up? Well done. How about bringing that arm overhead? Do you still have your legs lifted? Do you still have a happy face? And then bring the arm up, lift the legs. Bring your arm up, lift the legs, and hold it. And everything comes down. Holy smokes. Yes? Bend your knees up as if you are sitting in a chair. Cradle the back of your neck. Your top arm, your right arm goes forward. Lift your arm up and look at it. And then open your chest and start reaching back. And you can let your hips and knees slide. Go all the way back until you feel a stretch and an opening on your chest, and then stay there. 3 long, slow breaths in and out. Don't strain into it, melt into it. One more breath in and out. And then bringing the arm all the way up. Let your ribs come to the front. Let your hips and knees come back to the center. And then push yourself up with your right hand. Bring yourself up with your left hand. And again, spin onto your bum. So you're going to balance. But now this time, instead of tucking into a little ball shape here, can you lift your shins horizontal to the floor? Can you lengthen up through your spine? And you have a choice. You can either hold onto your legs and help yourself, or you can take the arms out in front. So you're sitting in a teaser position here, a V-sit. And if you want to really challenge yourself, you could close your eyes. Energy through crown, energy through fingertips, energy through feet. Open your eyes, and then release, placing your hands down so you can swing your feet to the side. And now you're going to be lying on your right side. So make sure you swapped over so you're not going to do a double whammy for yourself, all right? So from here, set up, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, ears. Chin up, shoulders down, and bottom oblique is connected. Squeeze the legs together. Breathe out as you lift. And release. So now, feeling top oblique working. So you're not holding, you're not bracing on that bottom oblique. You're just not letting it go. Remember, if you feel your lower back taking over, you just roll the top hip back about a centimeter. Let's just do a few more. Stay with your breath. And let's do one more. Lift up, and I need you to stay here. Now the top leg does not move. The bottom leg comes down and squeezes up. Down, squeeze. So now we're targeting the inner thigh muscles of that bottom leg that's moving. Don't think just about the ankles touching. Think about the movement coming from the pelvis. 3 more. 2. Last one. Squeeze up and hold it. Now the top leg goes up and down. Keep it going. Can you isolate the movement from the top hip without letting the bottom leg collapse? So you're keeping tension on the waist, you're keeping tension on the inner thigh, and you're targeting this little side bum muscle called the gluteus medius. Let's just take a few more. And last one. Bring your legs together and stop. Check your balance. Can you pick up the top arm? Keep your legs lifted. Reach the arm overhead. And now, lift your arm, lift your legs, lift your arm, lift your legs, and release. Well done, guys. Good, Jules. Bring your knees in front of you, sitting in a chair. Cradle your neck. Left hand reaches forward, lift the arm up, look up, and then open up across the chest and reach back through the arm. Let your hips and knees slide, and then stay there. Slow your breathing down as we take 3 breath cycles. Last one. Lifting your arm, rolling your arm, ribs, hips, knees, and all the way to the front. Good. Flip onto your stomach now. So we're going to do a little bit of a hip flexor and a quadricep stretch here. So put your left hand underneath your head. If you have a difficult time holding onto your foot, then what you can do as well is use a towel or a scarf, or if you've got any kind of like strap or belt like this, it's a huge help. There we go. So once you have a grip on your foot or your ankle or your pants, center your head, level your shoulders and your hips, and then firm the lower abs and tighten up your bum cheeks so that you get a stretch. And if that's easy for you, by the way, some people are really flexible, you could push your foot up into your hand and let your thigh come up. But the thing with that is that you're not allowed to collapse into the lower back. So make sure that you're in a place that feels good. Make any adjustments you need to for your kneecap. And then on your next breath, just release, slowly let go, and then move over to the other side. So use any props that you need. Center your head, your shoulders, your pelvis. Firm the lower abs. Tighten up the bum cheeks, and then find the stretch that works for you. And then on your next breath, release, stretch the leg all the way back, and then just take a moment to rock your hips from side to side. All right, now, if you've got really bony hips or your pelvis doesn't feel comfortable, give yourself a padding or a towel under your pelvis. take your legs quite wide apart, so about the width of your mat. And then you can almost do like a little bit of external rotation here to engage the bum cheeks. Put your hands wide and then walk your hands a little bit forward. So in fact, your hands are almost going to be past where your head is. Hover the tip of your nose, lengthen your spine, and then on your breath, start to lift your eye line and lift your chest into a baby cobra. So it's not very high. Double check that your bum cheeks are engaged. And now start pushing into your hands. So you start to come up off your elbows. Now maybe you're only here. If your back is really flexible, you might even be able to straighten your arms. And then bend your elbows to lower them down. And then come down and hover the tip of your nose. At any point, if it feels like it's too much for your back, then keep it small. Move your hands if you need to. Here we go. Lift up into a baby cobra first, lifting your heart. Push into your hands and coming up into a full extension of the spine. Bend your elbows to lower them down, and then lower your chest and hover your nose. And again, lifting up. Lift up through your heart. Press up into your hands. Feel how your shoulders are sliding down your back. And then bend the elbows. Come all the way down. Hover your nose. One more time, everyone. Lifting up. Baby cobra. Press up into your swan dive position. And then lower the elbows to the ground, release, and all the way down you go. Place your hands under your shoulders, bring the legs together, push up onto your knees, up you come, and then come onto all fours. Let's go into a little bit of a cat stretch position here. So line up your wrists where they're happy, line up your knees where it feels good. Nice long spine. Let's start by tucking the tailbone under and rolling sequentially through your spine, pushing out of the hands, tucking your chin in, and then let your tailbone come out again and start moving either to neutral, or if your spine likes it, you can come towards extension. And again, rounding the spine. So it's really that feeling of lifting up into the belly, pushing out of the hands, and then lengthening and lifting heart, lifting eye line. One more time, rounding the spine into your cat position, and then lengthen the spine, moving towards extension, and then return just to neutral. Balance on your right hand and reach the left hand to the side. Coming into a little bit of a thread the needle, just to mobilize the thoracic spine slightly. And then remember, you can stay here, or you can slide the right hand overhead, or you could place your hand into your back. So just find the stretch that feels good. No tension in the neck. You want to be able to just let your body melt into the floor here, find support. On your next breath, put your right hand onto the floor, come all the way up as you reach the left hand out to the side, and then place that foot down. Oh, the hand, the other thing. Now balance on your left hand, reaching the right hand out to the side, and coming into a thread the needle, placing shoulder, placing head, and then you can either stay or move the left hand to where it feels good for you. Double check that your body is completely supported here, that you can really melt into it. Taking just one more breath in and out. And then put your left hand to the ground. Up you come, reaching the right arm out, and then bringing your hand underneath you. Now, we're going to go into a little movement called the fascial cat. So it's actually releasing the fascia of the body through a cat stretch position. You're going to take your right leg, reach it back and tuck the toes under. If you've come off the mat, then you might need to move a little bit forward. You're going to hold your body position there and then stretch your left leg back to join it. So you're making a plank position or a push-up position with your body. Pause there and then hinge your knees to the ground. So now you have a long base. Release your toes out and then round your spine like a cat and move your hips back towards your feet. So you're pushing away from your hands. Don't let your hands move. And then come forward again with a rounded spine. So you're still in a cat stretch position. Now don't stop. Keep your hips coming forward. Now you've got to tighten up your bum and abs here. And then lift your chest, lift your heart, and lift your eye line. So you're pushing out of the ground. This is called an up dog position. Now listen, tuck your toes under, firm the lower abs, and lift your knees and thighs up. And then hinge your hips up and coming into a downward facing dog position. You can walk the heels down and then push both heels down and come forward again into a plank position. Hold it. Lower your knees. Release the toes. Round your spine like a cat and move your hips to your heels. Push away from your hands. Come forward with a rounded spine. Don't stop. Push your hips forward. Lift your heart. Lift your eye line. This is a modified up dog. Tuck your toes under. Firm your belly so that you can lift your knees up and support your lower back. Lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. And again, pedal the heels down. Get a little release into the calf muscles and Achilles, and then push both heels to the floor. Are you ready for the last one? Hinge forward to a plank. Lower both knees to the floor. Release the toes. Round your spine and move back. Round your spine, move forward. Push your hips through. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze. Tuck your toes. Firm up your tummy to lift your knees, lift your hips. And then just move your feet in a little bit closer. And then push the heels to the floor. And now that you've brought your feet a little bit closer to your hands, you might notice that you can get your heels a little closer to the ground. Push both your heels towards the floor and just stay there. Relax your neck. It doesn't matter if your knees are bent or straight. It really doesn't matter. On your next breath, just walk your feet halfway towards your hands. Line up your toes with each other. Bend your knees so that as you walk your fingertips towards your toes, your heels can touch the ground. So now you're standing firmly on your feet. And then take one hand and hold the elbow. Take your other hand and hold the other elbow. And then just let yourself hang there like a rag doll. You can have your knees bent or you can have them straight. You can hang still or you can sway from side to side. Come back to the center and then let go of your hands and your elbows. Shake your head no. Just releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Nod your head yes. Bringing yourself back to your silver lining, your gratitude, and let your head hang heavy. Soften your knees and start unraveling through your spine. So you really want to root into the heels of your feet here to let yourself activate the muscles that support you as you come up into standing. Just let your eye line come up. Roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then I'm just going to turn so that I'm standing facing towards the camera. You can stay as you are or you're welcome to move. And then separate your feet a little bit. Just let your arms relax beside you. Move your head, move your shoulders, move your ribs and spine. And then take a moment as we finish class to let your eyes be heavy, to soften your gaze, or perhaps to close your eyes for a moment. And this is just your opportunity to once again slow down. Notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. And to notice your physical body. Just notice any areas that you're holding tension, and can you allow yourself to soften a little bit? Take a moment to notice your energy. And how does your energy feel after the last hour of moving and breathing? Does your energy connect and harmonize with your physical body? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Just observe. Taking a moment once again to bring yourself to gratitude, awareness of that silver lining in your day. Gently opening your eyes, blinking, and we finish with one deep inhale, reaching all the way up, connecting one hand to the other. Exhale, open your arms. Give your hands and wrists a little bit of a shake, moving your legs, moving your feet. Well done. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thanks so much, Jules. Absolutely. Cool. Let me just turn on the sound. Okay, let's bring everyone back.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Renee.
so welcome, Carly.
And
How was your first session there?
Amazing.
Did you do the whole thing?
I